The night Abeni was born, the sky refused to be silent. Thunder rolled endlessly, not like normal rain season thunder, but like ancestral drums beaten in anger. Lightning tore through the darkness, striking trees and lighting up the small village of Aileron as if day had returned by force. Elders would later say that the sky had tried to warn them, but fear made them deaf. Inside a small mud hut at the edge of the village, Abeni's mother screamed in pain as the midwife struggled to deliver the child. Sweat ran down the midwife's face. When the baby finally came out, there was an unusual silence. No cry, no movement. For a brief moment, everyone thought the child was dead. Then suddenly, the baby cried loud, sharp, and piercing. At that same instant, lightning struck the old Iroko tree near the hut, splitting one of its thick branches. The women screamed and ran outside. Before anyone could celebrate the birth, tragedy followed. Abeni's mother gasped for breath, whispered something no one understood, and died before the rooster crowed. Fear replaced joy instantly. Whispers spread faster than the rain. A child who comes with thunder. A child whose mother dies at birth. Such children carry shadows. By morning, the elders had already decided. They did not even bother to ask what name the mother wanted. They named the child Abeni, but the name carried no blessing. It carried suspicion. From that day, Aileron would never look at Abeni as a child, only as a son. Abeni grew, but she never truly lived like other children. From the moment she could walk, she learned what rejection felt like. Women pulled their children away whenever she approached. Boys threw stones at her feet, shouting insults they barely understood. Even animals seemed to sense her loneliness. She lived with Mama Cutie, an elderly widow whose back was permanently bent from years of farm labor. Mama Cutie took her in out of pity, not courage. Even kindness was dangerous in Aileron. Mama Cutie fed Abeni with leftovers and taught her to keep quiet. Silence keeps you alive, she would say. At night, Abeni listened to laughter from other compounds and wondered why Joy avoided her. She asked Mama Cutie once, her small voice shaking, "Mama, what did I do wrong?" Mama Cutie had no answer. She only hugged her and cried. Whenever misfortune happened, a goat missing, a pot broken, a child falling sick, villagers mentioned Abeni's name in whispers. Fear became her shadow. Loneliness became her companion. Yet something strange followed her too: endurance. When Abeni turned 10, Aileron entered its darkest season. The river that fed the farms dried unexpectedly. Crops withered. Children fell sick with strange fevers. One evening, a young boy drowned near the forest stream. The village needed someone to blame. The elders gathered under the Iroko tree, fear written on their wrinkled faces. One name filled the air before it was spoken aloud. Abeni. She was born with death, one elder said. She brought suffering with her first cry, another added. No one disagreed. The decision was made that night. The girl who had endured hunger, insults, and loneliness would now carry the village's fear completely. Abeni had no idea that her life was about to change forever. The morning the village decided Abeni's fate, the sun rose without warmth. It was market day, yet no one set up stalls. Instead, a deep silence hung over Aileron, broken only by murmurs spreading from compound to compound. Abeni sensed something was wrong long before anyone called her name. Two men arrived at Mama Cutie's hut. They did not greet. They did not sit. Their faces were hard, their voices colder than Harmattan wind. The elders want the girl at the square, one of them said. Mama Cutie's hands trembled. She knew. Every widow in Aileron knew what it meant when elders summoned a child without parents. At the village square, people gathered in a wide circle. No one stood beside Abeni. Mama Cutie tried to follow, but a woman held her back. "Do you want trouble?" she whispered sharply. The chief stood, leaning on his staff, eyes fixed on the ground as if ashamed to look at the child. "Abeni," he began, "the gods are angry. Misfortune has refused to leave this land." Murmurs of agreement rose. "You were born the night death entered this village," an elder added. "Since then, peace has avoided us." Abeni's legs shook. "What did I do?" she whispered. No one answered. "You must leave Ailoran before sunset," the chief said. "This is for the survival of the village." Mama Cutie screamed. She begged. She reminded them that the child was innocent, that fear was not truth, but fear had already won. A small cloth bag was thrown at Abeni's feet. Inside were dry cassava flakes and a broken calabash. As she walked away, no one followed. No one called her name. The village she had endured for 10 years erased her in one morning. The forest did not welcome Abeni. Trees stood tall like judges, their shadows stretching across narrow paths. Every sound felt like danger. By nightfall, fear wrapped itself around her chest tighter than hunger ever had. She slept on bare ground, waking to insects crawling over her skin. Hunger gnawed at her stomach. Twice, she lost her way and cried until her throat hurt. On the third night, rain returned. Cold, relentless rain. Abeni stumbled near a stream and collapsed. Her body shook violently. Fever burned her skin. That was when she heard footsteps. An old woman appeared, dressed in faded white cloth. Her hair was gray, her face calm, untouched by fear. She carried no lantern, yet the darkness bent away from her. "Why do you cry, child?" the woman asked. "They chased me away," Abeni whispered weakly. "They said I am a curse." The woman smiled sadly. "Villages often fear what they do not understand." She touched Abeni's forehead. Warmth spread through her body. The fever faded. Hunger quieted. "You were born with light," the woman said softly. "But light threatens those who live comfortably in darkness." Before dawn, the woman was gone. Only footprints remained and strength in Abeni's bones. She rose with a new understanding. She was not weak. Abeni walked for days until the forest thinned and a small town appeared. No one knew her name. No one feared her birth. She started as a helper in a trader's stall, sweeping floors, carrying loads, learning silently. She worked harder than anyone. She saved every coin. She listened more than she spoke. Years passed. The girl the village rejected became a woman known for honesty. Her small trade grew. Customers trusted her. Blessings followed effort. Yet at night, memories returned. The faces, the rejection, the silence. Abeni promised herself one thing. She would never let bitterness destroy her heart. And far away, Ailoran slowly began to fall apart. After Abeni left Ailoran, the village expected peace to return. At first, nothing changed. Then things became worse. The river that once flowed gently through the farmland turned shallow and bitter. Fish disappeared. Crops refused to grow, even when the rains were generous. Children grew thin, and hunger entered homes that once mocked poverty. Arguments became common. Brothers fought brothers. Neighbors accused one another of witchcraft. Elders lost respect as their decisions failed to bring relief. The same people who shouted against Abeni now whispered in fear. "This did not happen when she was here," someone said quietly one evening. The words spread like fire. Desperate, the elders sent for a powerful oracle from a distant land, a man feared for speaking truth without mercy. When he arrived, the whole village gathered, holding their breath. The oracle cast cowries and spoke with a voice that carried no emotion. "You chased away your blessing," he said. "The child you rejected was your protection." Silence swallowed the square. The chief fell to his knees. Regret came too late, but hope remained if they could find her. Abeni did not plan to return. Life had finally become kind to her. She had respect, comfort, and peace, things Ailoran never gave her. Then a dream came. She saw the village dry and broken. She woke with tears she could not explain. When messengers arrived, bowing before her, shame covered their faces. They begged. Abeni listened quietly. The pain returned, but so did clarity. She agreed to return, not for revenge, but for closure. As her convoy approached Ailoran, villagers gathered, stunned. The barefoot child they chased away had returned clothed in dignity. No insults followed, only silence. Under the same Iroko tree, Abeni stood before them. "I was a child," she said. "I needed love, not fear. Tears fell freely. "I forgive you," she continued. "Not because you were right, but because I refuse to remain broken." Her forgiveness lifted a burden heavier than hunger. She helped them rebuild, teaching, supporting, restoring trust. The river flowed again. Aileron flourished. Children learned Benny's story as warning and hope. Fear lost its throne. And the girl the village refused became the lesson they would never forget.